Want a gripping cover letter that gets you attention from a potential employer to get your dream job? Then keep watching.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day.
For careers advice and behind the scenes of working in conservation, subscribe to my channel and click on that bell notification so you get told when I release a new video. So if you want a gripping cover letter that gets you the attention from your potential employer and not put them off straight away, watch to the end of this video and I'll show you how. If you watch to the very end, you'll see a slightly maybe controversial personal opinion on what you should not include in your cover letter. So this is going to be a 3-part series covering cover letters, CVs and interview tips, all to get your dream job in conservation, although this will apply to a lot of other jobs as well. So over the years, I have seen a lot of cover letters, CVs, done quite a few interviews, and the reason I'm doing this video now is in the last week or so, I have reviewed 85 CVs for one position, shortlisted them and conducted interviews. So I had a lot of things fresh in my mind and I wanted to share them with you because I know a lot of my followers are people who are trying to get into this industry, who are looking for jobs, who are kind of working out what to do, and this might help some of you. When talking about cover letters, the first thing is actually do include a cover letter. A cover letter is your chance to really show your personality, whereas a CV is more kind of your skills and what you've done. The cover letter is your chance to show how you can use these skills in the current position. A cover letter is basically introducing yourself to the employer, and it's your kind of chance to guide the employer where to find the relevant bits in your CV. It's basically intriguing the employer to look more in depth at your CV. But make sure you keep it kind of brief and to the point. As I said, we had 85 applicants to go through. People are not going to trail through paragraphs and paragraphs of kind of descriptive words. You really have to make it concise, respect your potential employer's time and keep it brief and to the point. Aim for half a page to a page for your cover letter. It shouldn't go on for pages and pages. Nobody is going to read that. A cover letter is a personal pitch of what is motivating you to do the job, but why the employer should choose you and why you would fit to that job. So the cover letter is not about you. Like your CV is about you. Your cover letter is about how you can help the employer. It's why you are kind of a match for that position. Why are you a match for that organization? And here you really need to make sure you do your research. Make it clear that you know exactly what the job is. You know exactly what the organization stands for, what its work scope is, and show that you've really done your homework and that you know you would be a good candidate for this position. So the idea is to supplement your CV, not replace it. So you're not listing all of the jobs that you've had or everything you've done in those roles. You're really, really linking them to the current position. So analyze the job opening, analyze the organization, and just make sure you're pulling out bits from your CV, the most relevant bits, to kind of show the employer why you're the perfect person for the role. With cover letters especially, one size does not fit all. You have to tailor it. So let's go through step by step of what you should include in your cover letter. So firstly, your opening should kind of grab the reader's attention. As I said, like people get a lot of applications, they skim read. Like the first few lines are critical. Why are you so excited about this position in this specific organization? So introduce and hint at your qualities and motivation. The idea is to make the employer read the rest of the cover letter and then want to read the CV as well. So you should really try and put a key thing in that kind of initial first portion of the cover letter. So the best thing to do is kind of read through the job description, really pick out what they think is the most important skill in there. Go through your CV and think of the most important skill in your CV that matches the job description and put that right up at the front. For example, if they're looking for hands-on management of a remote camp and you have hands-on management of a remote camp and however many years you have of that, you put that in right at the top. Bam. That is the main thing they're looking for. That is your main experience that you can highlight. So secondly, you need to explain your motivation. So why are you attracted to this industry, this position, this organization? You need to be a little bit careful here, and I'll cover this more right at the end of the video. But just be careful with your wording here. Try not to make it too over the top or too emotional. So thirdly, we're looking at your kind of suitability for that role. So you're convincing the employer why you are a good fit for the role. Then outline your relevant experience, job positions, work that you've done that directly kind of ties in with the current role. So when you're talking about your kind of previous roles briefly in your cover letter, focus on your accomplishments, not so much your duties. Make achievements as specific as possible, so like number of people you managed. And then kind of fourthly, your conclusion, like summarize your motivation, summarize what you can bring to the organization. Hint at that's the guy's whistle playing football, so it's going to be a bit noisy probably in a minute. And I'm getting chewed. One thing that I find is that a number of people will apply for a job that don't have enough experience or don't have the minimum kind of requirements for that job. And that sometimes can feel like you're time wasting. So if you're reading through a lot of CVs and you have someone that's really got no experience, and you kind of feel like, why are they even applying for this job? But I completely understand about trying to get your foot in the door. So kind of the way around that is, if you've got kind of some experience and a lot of motivation, what you can do is write your cover letter, include your CV, but at the end of the cover letter, say something like that you really want to apply for this role, but you really kind of agree with the ethos of the organization. So if there's any other roles that would suit your kind of experiences or skills that they could kind of keep your CV on file for, then please do that. And I think that's like, you're trying your luck and you're trying to get a chance for that job, but it also might be that they do have other roles coming up. Or any kind of, if there's any internships, they might not have enough experience for the job, but they might have for an internship, and that they might offer you it. So don't time waste, but kind of put that little thing in at the end if you know that you really don't have enough kind of experience for that role. One thing I would say is like completely time wasting CVs, like people who haven't even read the job description or apply for a job that's not even kind of being advertised. Like we had someone apply for the sales manager job. No, like you just make sure you read or you send the right cover letter and an application to the right organization for a start. In the past, we actually had someone who said, I'm writing to apply for X job position at a completely different organization. Okay, like mistakes happen, but that's kind of attention to detail. And that's, throw it out straight away, really. If they can't kind of proofread and check their letters before they send them, then how careful are they going to be in the job that you're offering them? You should really make sure that one other person or even two reads through your cover letter and just checks it for spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, any typos. The problem is when you have focused so much time writing something and you reread it, your brain kind of knows what you mean, so sometimes it can fill in errors. So you need to make sure someone who's reading it from fresh, they're more likely to pick out any mistakes than you are. So this is really, really important. If you can also give them the job description as well, just so they can also have a look and check that it's really kind of highlighting the relevant points. Okay, and here we are to the last thing that I wanted to talk about that might be slightly controversial, is your level of emotion in your cover letter. Why I said you had to kind of speak about what motivates you, you have to be really careful not to be too emotional, especially emotional statements that focuses on you solely and not you in the role or not you in that specific kind of organization or country or with that specific animal. Really kind of vague statements like, my heart yearns for Africa, or Africa runs through my blood, And I'm not trying to like belittle people. I just want to make people understand why that's not necessarily the best thing to include. The problem is it focuses too much on you, and it kind of sounds like you would do anything to be in Africa as a very broad kind of thing, or you would do anything to work with animals, or I'll do anything to get back to Africa. An employer doesn't really feel like you're really motivated to do that specific job with that organization in that specific country. And it focuses a lot on you and your fulfillment, not so much how your skills can benefit the organization. Because you might be a really lovely person and you might be amazing, but the employer's not there to fulfill your life's destiny. The employer's there to find the best person for the role and the best person that can fit in that organization. So you need to make that clear. The other thing is that it might be different in other jobs, but my view is working in conservation or working with animals, you need to make kind of tough decisions based on rational decision making. And the problem with appearing too emotional is that you will make decisions based on emotion rather than kind of sense. And that might be really, really judgmental, but it's definitely my personal opinion. When I read cover letters that are very over emotional, the first thing I think of is how are they going to deal with a difficult situation? How are they going to deal with an elephant that's dying? You really need level-headed people that can rationalize their decision making, and unfortunately if you come across as very emotional, that might put that into doubt. Like I say, this is my personal opinion. I've like co-interviewed or co-reviewed applications with kind of 5 other different people, and they've all said the same thing as well. So as a like little snapshot of the view in our kind of industry, this is really awkward, and I know that some people watching this are going to look at their cover letter for the last job they applied for and they might say these things, and I don't want to embarrass anyone or make anyone feel bad. It's just something that if you do find that you've applied for a lot of jobs and you're not getting to that interview stage or shortlisted, that might be something that you should look at. I'm not saying remove all emotion or anything, because you do have to put what motivates you, but just to kind of tone it down a little and really make your actions and your experiences speak for themselves. I'm gonna end this video here as the sun is setting and I am getting bitten. If you like this video, please let me know by hitting the like button below and share it with someone who you think will find it useful. Please comment below if you are or have recently applied for a job. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Please stay tuned for the next video in the series, which is looking at CV writing. Thank you, good night. What, we still done? This is why you don't walk around in bare feet in the bush, because there are thorns everywhere.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that was an elephant. Let's hope. And that was Theo. Let's hope one of the release phase elephants don't appear behind me. So I'm not filming up at the tent now because it's a bit too shady up there. And my house husband is doing the dishes, so if you hear any noises, it's probably him or the elephants in the background.
There you go.
Nothing. I was just saying you're a good house husband. Sometimes.